Clemson travels to Tallahassee to play Florida State this Saturday night. Yep, October the 5th, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Interestingly enough, the line has moved this morning, just within the past few hours, in favor of Florida State. No, they're not a favorite, but in favor of Florida State. It's went from Clemson being a 16-point favorite to a 14-point favorite. We're going to dive into that and talk about DJ not playing against his former team. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. I'm Brian. I know I'm surrounded by my Clemson garb, and it's weird when I do my hands like that because I can kind of see myself here. It looks like, what am I doing here? It looks weird. But I do talk about college football outside of Clemson, but I mainly focus on the Tigers. If you like that sort of stuff, if you like getting all worked up, not speaking to people just because they criticize your team, well, this is the channel for you. I hope you'll subscribe. I went over 5,000 subscribers this past weekend, and now I'm blasting past that. It's crazy. Thank you all for joining. I think you like what I'm doing. Even when you don't, I do appreciate the support. It is free. So, in the preseason, we talked about Clemson and Florida State. What did you think about? What were your thoughts? You thought this could be the game that determines the ACC champion. Would this be the first meeting of two meetings, the second being in the ACC championship? Both teams lost their very first game. The teams they lost to were from the state of Georgia. One was a blowout, one was a walk-off field goal. And we moved to this point, and Clemson is now 3-1. Florida State is now 1-4, 1-3 in the conference. Then you add in that DJ was supposed to play against his former team. This is a guy who was only second to Bryce Young coming out of high school. These were the two top-rated players at their position, and if my memory serves me correct, the two top players coming out of high school at the same time. Now, Bryce is in the NFL struggling with the Carolina Panthers. And before you take shots at him, it's the Carolina Panthers. Does anyone really flourish there? That's not on the defense. DJ is with his third team, and everybody thought he would be playing against Clemson. He has a broke hand. He's not. They're starting Brock Glenn. That's who's on the thumbnail. Brock Glenn will get his third start ever. He's a redshirt freshman. Who was his first two starts? Ooh, Louisville. That's right, Louisville, or as Sean McDonough says, Louisville, Clemson, Dabo. It's not Dabo, it's Dabo. Yeah, we're all rednecks down here. Dabo. Anyway, I bet he drives a Malibu. But, yeah, so Brock Glenn starts in the ACC championship. That's his first start against Louisville. Louisville, who's the next one? Georgia. Now he gets this start against Clemson, the best defense they'll probably play all year. They need to erect a statue to that young man, honoring his bravery. I mean, I don't know what to say, but this guy, who he playing against Clemson. So let's go ahead and dive into the game. And there's really not much to dive into here. Other than Appalachian State, it would be safe to say that Florida State is the worst team that Clemson has played up to this point. So Saturday night, Appalachian State would only be the worst team that Clemson had played up to this point. Would you ever thought that? I wouldn't. They raided the transfer portal. They gave Mike Norvell this big fat buyout, which, by the way, I'm totally against. It's fair market. Market determines this. The market's not determining, or let me rephrase this. You can determine if you want to participate in said market. Giving these guys these massive buyouts only for them to lay golden turds, I think Jimbo is showing that wasn't a good idea. I think Norvell is showing that's not a good idea. There's other coaches that's showing that's not a good idea. Just going to leave that there. They raided the transfer portal. They went to the transfer portal and they got whoever they could get. And last year it worked for them. You cannot say that it did not work for them last year. But this year, it has not worked at all. On the other hand, you step back and you look at their coaching. What has happened to the coaching staff? Because everybody told me, hey, Norvell is going to scheme this away. We're going to scheme away the issues with DJ. Well, folks, if you've watched Florida State play, you will quickly realize there's a lot more problems there than just DJ. Yes, he's the starting quarterback. Yes, he's going to catch the criticism. All that good stuff, blah, 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 blah. That entire team is in shambles. They do not look good. You might have a player here or a player there that has a bright moment, but overall, I mean, they literally, let me give you the scores to Florida State's games. This past weekend, they lost to SMU 42-16. They beat Cal 14-9. They lost 20-12 to Memphis. They lost 28-13 to Boston College. Boston College could have scored another touchdown at the end, and that would have been 35-13. They had the walk-off field goal loss to Georgia Tech. That Georgia Tech loss was the next best game behind their 14-9 win over Cal. So you're starting a guy who Norvell didn't want to start anyway. Then we step back and we look at DJ breaking his hand. And so it pushes this guy into that position, right? So what is the challenge for Clemson here? Let me tell you what I believe the challenge for Clemson is here. Focus. I mean, really, over the past 3 games, you've scored at least 40 points. 40, 59, and 66. Again, this is one of the worst teams that Clemson has played so far this year. I can't believe it. Like, no trash talk here, just being totally straight up. This is one of the worst teams that Clemson's played up to this point. The challenge for Clemson is to continue to be focused, and this is a great game for Clemson's offensive line to continue to get their feet under them, to continue to get their technique down, to refine their communication with one another. This is a great opportunity for Cade to continue to trust his offensive line as they provide the pocket. This is a great chance to build some continuity with his wide receivers. This is a great chance for his wide receivers to get more experience blocking downfield, running their routes, fighting for the football, and winning those jump balls when needed. Notice I really haven't talked about the defense. I have talked about this a lot, that the defense has let down Clemson very little over the past 5 years. I mean, name me a time that the defense has let us down where the offense was actually performing. I'll have to set my sundial for that one. Florida State has nothing to lose. They've lost it. They have lost it. After this game with Clemson, they're going to have a bye week. Then they play Duke. Then they're at Duke, they're at Miami, they play North Carolina, they're at Notre Dame, Charleston Southern, and then the loser bowl with Florida. Who knows who will be the head coach at Florida at that time? Who knows? I don't. Do you? I'll put it this way. I'll be shocked if it's Billy Napier. I mean, that's just where I'm at this point. But Florida State has nothing to lose. And if they can pull themselves together just for this one moment, they may put up more of a fight than what you realize. Let's switch over to Clemson. Again, focus. Are they focused? You're playing another bad team. What's my motto? Beat a bad team bad. So forget the logo on the side of Florida State's helmet. Forget where you're playing. Forget the fight song. Forget the chop and all that bunch of stuff. Just listen to me. That's not the Florida State team that you think of. The Charlie Ward in 1993, the Charlie Ward team. Peter Warwick, Jameis Winston. That is not the team that you're playing against. Heck, you're not even playing against the team from last year. Last year! Jordan Travis was a beast, by the way. I've told a lot of people that. I said, Jordan, when I heard that DJ, and I don't care what the reason was. I don't care what the reason was. Well, we missed out on Cam Moore because of this day. Okay, I get it. But I told you, you need to find Jordan Travis and hug that man. Hug him. Because after that Clemson game, I had a ton of respect for him after watching what he did. That guy continued to get beat up. I mean, he's getting his head beat in left and right. I mean, it's just like awful. Kept getting up. Clemson gave him just a little bit of time, and guess what? He made the Tigers pay. Clemson lost that game. It was a fun one. Even though it was a loss, it was a fun game to watch. Frustrating, but, you know. But that's not the team that Clemson's playing against. Clemson is playing against a team who went to the transfer portal, loaded up on players, who has a coach who just signed a massive deal. So Florida State would have to pay him, what, $60 million to go away? Right? Last time I checked, something like that. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I think that's it. So it's not like if you and I lose our job, you know, we're sitting there going, oh, Lord, what is in savings? I need to hit some people up, try to find some work. Job market's tough out there right now. Nope. He's kicking up his feet in the new oceanfront property somewhere, tropical, probably staring at co-eds. I don't know. He's fine. Why does Mike Norvell have to be worried about this game? He doesn't have to. But Clemson needs to focus. Clemson can't view the game like I just laid it out there. They can't be afraid of Florida State, and they can't underestimate Florida State. The Clemson Tigers has a lot to prove. They've played 3 nobodies and murdered them. Wonderful. That's what you're supposed to do. At least you're not losing games like Florida State is losing. But my friends, I have not forgot week 1. I haven't. And I'm not going to forget week 1 until Clemson goes out and beats a week 1 opponent. Until they beat a Texas, until they beat an Ohio State, a Georgia, an Alabama. Players to watch for in this game. I want to throw a little stat out there. By the way, Peter Woods, we don't know if he's going to go. He's day-to-day. But a stat that I want to give you that I noticed this morning as I was getting ready for this game, everybody's talking about Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old freshman wide receiver sensation down at Alabama. We saw what he did against Georgia. The guy has like 16 receptions for 400 and something yards. 16 receptions, 400 and something yards. Incredible. Notice Kirby didn't hold him, or not Kirby. Kalen DeBoer did not hold him out of that game versus Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart played A.J. Bolden against us. True freshman, right out of high school. I mean, the ink's not even dried on his high school diploma yet. Now, we held our wide receivers till the end when the game was over. But recently, we've put Bryant Wesco out on the field. And Bryant Wesco, let's be honest with ourselves, has been overshadowed by T.J. Moore. Why? Because of that U.S. Army All-American game. But Bryant Wesco has come out, and he's put up some crazy numbers for the amount of time he's been playing. So remember, Ryan Williams, who's unbelievable, by the way, and he's done it against better competition than Wesco, but Wesco was not allowed to play that much against Georgia. But remember, Ryan Williams has like 16 receptions for 400 and something yards. Bryant Wesco has 7 receptions for 238 and 2 touchdowns. I expect us to get the ball to this young man more. He is burning defenders left and right. The other night against Stanford, he got open. I'm not knocking Cade. Cade did not see him. He would have had another touchdown. So Bryant Wesco is the man to watch in this ball game. But I just hope that Clemson will continue to keep their head in the game. They won't go in here playing nervous. They won't go in here assuming they're going to win. Just good, solid focus, good, solid attack, and run this into the ground. I'm going to quickly go to the comments section. Got Parker Henderson in here. App State would beat FSU this year. You think so? Maybe so. See that symbol beside Parker's name? He's joined on a monthly basis, so he supports either $3 or $5 per month. I try to keep it budget friendly because I just want it to be easy. If you want to support the channel, I hope you'll subscribe first. That's free, and the next on a monthly basis, $3 or $5. Thank you, Parker, for supporting there, and thank you for your comment. He believes Clemson wins 52-14. I do appreciate that. Got Kevin in here. Norvell had success off of Willie Taggart's recruiting. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks for supporting the channel. You've joined as well. Thank you so much. Cosmic Tactics. I never bet on Clemson games just because of the bias, but I might bet the spread, which is 14.5, and the over, which is 46.5. Just hope Vegas doesn't know something I don't. That's right. Enjoy your shows, bro. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. Official Mikey. See Dabo with the playbook. Is he calling plays or Garrett? This is so much. There's so much debate. It's ridiculous. I can't. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. But I know what you're implying, and I don't blame you. Thomas Mills. Hey there, Brian. It's good to see you, my friend. It is good to see you. You're over there in Germany. They're South Carolina natives. He and his wife are South Carolina natives. They went to Clemson. They're in the military. They're stationed in Germany. Thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you for what you do for the country. If you have guys that are second, third string, you should have them practice with the first team just in case. Great point, Faith Thomas. I like it. Sierra Mike said, has anybody said his injury is on his throwing hand? CBS Sports just said finger injury. Don't buy it for a second. I asked TJ from College Football Addiction about this morning. He said he's actually seen the x-rays. It is his hand because I questioned the same thing. Clemson beats Florida State 52-7. Mike 38-83. The spread is 14.5, way too low. Folks, tell me what you think about the spread. Tell me what you think about this game coming up. Is Clemson just going to run away with this game? Does Florida State even put up a fight other than showing up and giving it the good old college try? I want to hear what you think. Douglas Spencer in here. Always a good show, Brian. It's good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Folks, leave your comments below. Hope you have subscribed. Remember, this channel is growing fast. I mean, I was just asking, hey, to try to get to, hey, can you help me get to 4,000 subscribers like 6 weeks ago? And I'm at 5,100. Boom, it's happened. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, you like what I'm doing, I hope you'll subscribe. It's free. You'll pass it along to your buddies who even hates the look on my face, and they'll subscribe as well. I do appreciate it, folks. You take care of yourself. I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Name that reference. And as always, go Tigers.